So here we are again. It is late at night and I've been spending a little bit of time doing some work, but also taking some time to be reflecting on where I want to be going for this week moving forward. What exactly do I want to be accomplishing and how can I be setting the bar a little bit higher? And actually, one thing that comes to mind is actually an article that I read this morning about goals. And at least as far as goals go, like goals are obviously like a huge, important thing to me, but this article really got me thinking a lot about how I view goals and how I use goals. Because I know for a lot of people, when it comes to goal setting, they say like, okay, I need to be completing these certain tasks within a set period of time. And they put a sort of a time limit on themselves. And this can be good and bad for a few reasons. For me, like, I've always seen it as kind of a good thing because, one, if you give yourself a small amount of time, you're going to be focusing only on the details. You're only going to be focusing on what's going to matter the most out of tasks, out of goals, out of assignments, and so on. If you're given more time, you tend to procrastinate. But the same thing can be said for setting time limits in general, because you don't have that creative flow or you don't have that kind of flexibility. Like you have to be stubborn and stay focused on that completing that goal, and you can't really deviate. You can't really think of other alternatives. And it really got me thinking a lot about how I view my goals, because for me, how I see my goals is, one, I do want to be completing them, obviously. That is one thing that I really value, and it's something that's really important to me. But at the same time, I don't get onto my case about the whole thing, nor do I think that nor do I feel like I'm pressured or anything like that, because I know that I will get around to it when I do have the chance. I do. And as far as my advancement goes, I'm more focused on like another objective, and these sorts of goals that I'm setting are things that are leading me towards those objectives to begin with. So I'm not all that concerned, because I know that eventually I'm going to get there, because it's just a matter of doing these tasks and getting ahead of the curve. And that's really what this article really got me thinking a lot about, is just that sort of relationship that I have with my goals, or, well, not necessarily a relationship, but the sort of perception that I have with these goals. And it really got me thinking about like what I can be doing moving forward with that. And so far I haven't really come up with any kind of like creative ways, or at least I do have some ideas, but I'm thinking with all the stuff that I want to be doing in the next couple of months, I don't feel like it's a really feasible time to do that, at least right now. And really I need to be focusing on some of the stuff that I want to be doing moving forward, or at least like getting a nice backlog of some of the stuff that will be coming up, and getting it as prepared as possible, and that sort of stuff. So it really got me thinking a lot about, okay, like what sort of ideas can I be creating, and that's a really good thing for me, because obviously I need to be getting creative. The stuff that I have in my life and what it is that I'm doing with my life and so on, I need to be getting creative with that and start exploring other options and being flexible. Obviously still have some level of stubbornness, but like still be flexible to make changes that will push me forward, and that sort of thing. And that's really the lesson that I want to be passing across in this video for you guys, is to have that sort of fluidity, to have that sort of to have that sort of openness about like the various aspects of goals and just in life in general, to have an open mind towards things and try to understand them to some extent. You might not agree with it entirely, but I think that it's still important, even if it's something that you're like, I don't think that I could really use this, or I don't really see the purpose of this. I feel like it's still kind of important to keep some things in mind and to just be open to some of the ideas that are being presented, especially when it comes to goals. Because again, like, the views that I presented can be seen in two different lights, and I'm sure that they can be seen in other lights as well, not just those two that I presented. So it's really important to define these things to you and to know what it means to you, especially with goals and other things that you value yourself. Take some time to be opening up to the other opinions, to the other side of the story, to other perceptions of things, because that can change your meaning of certain things, like it has with my own view of goals. Because I think that it can really help me, and I think that it can also help you guys as well. So I really want to be pushing myself with this sort of thing in mind, with the goals that I've set for this week as well. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to show some of those results with you guys.